Well, let's talk to Tom Hunt, who's an eco-chef and founder of the award-winning Eat Poco restaurants in Bristol and London, and here with us now. Thanks for being with us. How worried should we be then, rationing in certain supermarkets of lettuce and broccoli?
Well, I'm incredibly worried. I think this is perhaps exposing the fragility of our food system. I mean, some bad weather in Murcia, one of our kind of main producers of vegetables, has been hit by serious weather, and immediately we're seeing the impacts of that on our supermarket shelves.
Are you saying then we're almost too reliant on certain countries like Spain to provide us with things like lettuce?
Definitely. I think our own food security is incredibly important, and that means being able to produce enough of our own food to sustain our country. Whilst, you know, supermarkets and big buyers are relying on kind of international imports, that leaves us exposed and kind of, I don't know, for me brings into question our conventional food system and its bias for this kind of industrial farming.
So what are the alternatives? Just give us your sort of blueprint for how we should do things better then.
I mean, of course, it's an incredibly complex issue with many kind of different caveats. But essentially, I kind of chose to only seasonal British vegetables a number of years ago after working with Hugh Fearnley-Whitting's stall at River Cottage, and now do that in my home and my restaurants. And there's infinite benefits around that for the environment and for our health. I mean, seasonal produce it basically means local produce, so it's grown within your area or at least country.
And can you get enough supplies then of, say, lettuce or broccoli, stuff that's now being rationed, as we've heard, in the supermarkets?
Well, I mean, the argument would be don't kind of eat non-seasonal produce that's been imported from a longer distance.
Okay.
Britain is a very good grower of brassicas like broccoli. Courgettes are not in season at the moment. I wouldn't use them.
So you only eat what is produced in season?
I only eat what's produced in season, and I find that that ends up with a much more nutritious diet and more flavourful diet, and often cheaper, depending on kind of the abundance of that produce at that time. We can see at the moment that, of course, now there's limited stocks of these vegetables. The prices have tripled of lettuce in Lidl's and stuff like that.
But I hear what you say, but at the same time, people are being told, you know, for your health, your long-term health, it's very good to eat things like broccoli, superfoods, and if you limit when you eat them to seasonal times when they're produced in this country, you know, that's tough, isn't it? Some people, for health reasons, might want to say, well, I want to eat broccoli or lettuce all the year round.
I mean, that's a really good point. I think that actually our own seasonal produce provides enough varied nutrition at each time of the year, and actually following us more throughout the year. Because I'll eat asparagus when it comes into season in June, and I'll be, or just before, and I'll be, you know, thrilled to have it back on my plate and really excited to eat it.
But you've got to know quite a lot about the various vegetables and when they're produced, when they're in season.
I mean, it's now the norm to kind of see all sorts of produce available on the supermarket shelves whenever we want them, and that's kind of what we've become used to. And so no one can, I mean, it's really easy to get confused and not know what's in season in the supermarket. I mean, at the end of the day, you can look for the UK grown badge on the product on the aisle, and that's a kind of easy and simple way to kind of find out, but it can be very limiting.
All right. Well, good to talk to you. Tom Hunt, thank you very much indeed. Very thought-provoking. Now, let's get a look at the weather.